Bjelleklang, bjelleklang, bjelleklang rock. Nå det jul, vi kan ikke få nok. Snømannen står der.
Hey everybody, it's Gregg Cockrell with Wolf Entertainment. I got an update for you on our Jingle Bell Rock the World project. As you know, Jingle Bell Rock, the iconic Christmas song that was written and recorded by Bobby Helms in 1957. This year, Wolf Entertainment has partnered with John Kleiman and Jingle Bell Rock Music to record this iconic song by artists all over the world in up to about 20 different languages now. It's very exciting. You're going to hear this song in Armenian and French and Norwegian and Portuguese and Russian and in English as well. As I said, there's superstar talent from all over the world that's participating in this, including the man who is with me today. And I don't use the word legendary lightly, but the legendary Skip Martin, former lead vocalist from Kool and the Gang, member of the Dazz Band, superstar in your own right. Skip, Mr. Martin, it's an honor to have you with me today. Thanks for joining me. Tell me about this. How did you get involved in such a project as this?
Well, I mean, I've known Helmut for quite some time, and we've delved into a few different projects, what have you, together. And from our friendship over the years, you know, as God would have it, we just got this, which kind of dropped in our lap. And I was so fortunate to do this. I'm like, oh, yeah, this would be great. You know, this would be a great thing. And it's like, who gets a chance to perform something with somebody that's already gone and moved on?
Right.
But my whole premise to even doing music was, I think I was 7 years old. And this ties into my vision and my dream for my life. When I was 7 years old, I was riding in a car with a Dodge Rambler with my grandmother and grandfather. And Nat King Cole had just passed away. And they were playing a tribute to Nat King Cole on the radio. Unforgettable, that's what you are. And it sounded to me like he was in the car with us. And I said to my grandmother then, I said, Nana, that's what I'm going to do. And she turned around. She said, what, baby? I said, I'm going to play music. I'm going to learn how to play music and make music so that when I die, people will feel that I'm still in the car with them.
Wow. That gave me chills hearing that story.
so this resonates to my purpose, my life purpose, which is this life that we live is fleeting. It's only going to be for a while. And I just want to do as many things as I can to leave a trace in humanity that I was here. And this contributes to that dream.
Wow, in such a nice way. Well, you've already given the world such a gift of music, Skip. This is just one more of the many things you've done. And to hear you sing duet style with Bobby Helms especially, that's really special. I'm sure that was a thrill for you. But man, what you just said about how things like this, projects like this, keep people's spirit alive, whether, you know, you're talking about King Cole or Bobby Helms or whoever. There's another great song that Bobby Helms wrote called My Special Angel, which you've also recorded. And that is, you just made it your own. I mean, if I'd have heard that and was not familiar with the original version, I would have thought it was yours. You put your own touch on it in such a way. It's really beautiful.
Thank you. And I enjoyed doing it. It's such a special song, and no pun intended, but it was just a really special song. And I just embrace this whole opportunity to be able to do this, you know, with the late, great Bobby Helms, because his legacy is living that dream that I always wanted. And that's life after death. Yeah.
And you mentioned that it's a gift that lasts forever. You know, that musical gift lasts forever. So this is something that people are going to be able to treasure for a long time. I don't want to forget to mention something else, too. You've recently been involved in a project. I mean, we know you're a Grammy Award-winning artist for all of your wonderful music contributions, but you've just won an Emmy Award for a project that I am so impressed by. It's called Legends Unite for St. Jude. You did a reworking of the song with such amazing superstar talent. The classic Curtis Mayfield song, People Get Ready. It just one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. How did you get involved in that?
Well, because I was angry, because I was pissed off. I was home during COVID. Everything was closed down. No artists were able to do anything. I had this first time in 40 something years that I didn't have anything on my calendar, no gigs to go, no work, no income coming in, and no joy from what I love to do is play music. And so I'm sitting in front of the television. I'm looking at all this division, the Republicans, this, the Democrats, that, the black and the whites and the police and Floyd George and all of these things that were happening. And I'm here sitting here helpless. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. It's pissing me off because nobody's talking about hope. There's nothing good. Nobody's talking about anything good and positive. And I remember I'm not a minister or devout, devout. I'm a Christian, but I'm not devout and over the top with it. But I believe that there's a word in the Bible that talk about what the end of days and times, it was going to be the musicians that brought about a change. And I said, well, what can I do? What can I do? I got to do something. I can't sit here. And so this is the most profound project of my life because it really isn't about me. It's about us. And that's where it came into, and I did a video on it. I went to my wife and I said, honey, I'm going to do this project and I'm going to have to take things from my savings in order to pay Tom Schumann from Spyra Gyra to be my engineer and help me to do this. I got to pay him for his time. So at the end of 2 years, I had spent a little over $45,000 to put this all together, to pay for the studio, to make sure that this was done, to do marketing campaigns for the Grammys. And I didn't have enough money to really get in there, enough nepotism to really get in there. But I just kept on trudging. When no's came, I just kept on going. And I guess that's the biggest part of this whole achievement of this Emmy Award, is because no is just a word to tell you, try another way.
Try another way.
And I just kept doing that, and I kept persevering, and I kept believing, even though it wasn't my idea. I mean, it really wasn't my idea. I wanted to do something, and I already had the song done. But to the extent that I did it, it wasn't my idea. I can never take claims for it. So how it happened was I was at a studio with a group called As Yet, and one of the guys that I met named Paris Smith, he was one of the singers in As Yet, gifted singers from the Bible Belt. And they came up in the church and all of this. And I told him, I said, man, I would love to have you guys collaborate on this song that I have, People Get Ready. I've already got the track done and recorded it, but it would be great if you guys collaborated and did backgrounds in the choir and just built it up bigger. Mm-hmm. And they said, yes, well, let's do that. We started at 8:00 in the evening. When I started, there's 4 of them. And I put each one of them down. I recorded them 4 times a piece, each one singing their part 4 times a piece. And I heard a voice say to me, expand on that. And it was kind of soft. And I said, I'm already expanding on it, so I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's a passing, fleeting thought. And I just kept going. By 3:30 in the morning, we were done. And I'm leaving a place that sounded immense. And I said, wow, this thing has sounded amazing. And I heard the voice again say, expand on that. But this time it was louder. Now I'm thinking somebody's playing tricks on me or got something voice in the back of the speaker. They just want to see if I'm being, some kind of tricked or something.
Yeah.
And I said, man, what? So it's 3:30 now. So I started reaching to the farthest points in the world where I knew people and started calling them to see if they'd be a part of it. And one of my first calls was to my brother from another mother. His name is Stefan Meyer. And he was the lead violinist for the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. And I asked him, would he put some strings on it and put a string line or something in there? And he said, yeah, man, I'll do that. He did it. And he gave it to me about 2 weeks later. I had his lines, and it was beautiful. And I had already started calling people, and I worked my way back from Austria all the way back to New York, then to Texas and Florida, and then to Seattle, and then to LA. And I started calling people. I was up till 1:00 in the afternoon. And I started calling people, and I just kept calling people, kept calling them. And most of the people, I think I got 29 people to do it. and maybe two or three people never got back to me on it to do it. But the others did out of love, and they did their parts during COVID. And that's what got me involved in doing this project. And like I say, I was taking on something that it was ambitious, and I had no idea I was going to do that. But it ended up being the most profound project of my life. And so I'm able to, finally get there's some confirmation in getting this Emmy, because what we did was make a difference and touch some people. And it was not just the song, but it was the video images that I put on television and stuff in the southern region that showed people battling with the COVID, the doctors, the nurses, the blacks, the whites, the women's rights, the Black Lives Matter, all these different things, Martin and all of this stuff where we've come a long way. And I was giving my love to this and trying to do something opposed to what was status quo and what was the in thing. I've never been to just go along because it was in. I go along what I feel and what I believe and have conviction then.
Yeah, you had some real motivation there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Real inspiration, I should say.
Yes.
And you brought together some amazing, unbelievable people as part of that project. It's I urge everybody to look for that. People get ready. It's under the title of Legends Unite for St. Jude, and you talk about the fragility of life and wanting to give back and to give hope to people. And that song, for one thing, is got such a spiritual quality to it. I think it really resonates in that way that you wanted it to. And again, you put your own touch on it. When people hear your voice, it's so iconic. But also the other artists that you brought together on that project. So let's see, we got you a Grammy and an Emmy. All we need is a Tony and an Oscar, and you'll be an EGOT. Have you got any Broadway shows or any movies in your future, do you think, Skip?
I'm still working on that because I have a children's musical that I would like to put into the Tony process. It's called Morgan the Clydesdale Pony, and it's from a children's book that I wrote, and we've turned it into a musical, and then we'll see what happens with that, and then I just keep on going. As far as Oscars, that comes from movies and what have you, and maybe God will bless me to put some of my songs or something in a movie in some way, shape, or form before my time is done. Either way, I'm happy with what I have achieved. I'm so thankful and really appreciative and grateful for everything that has happened in my life. If I don't have another thing, if I don't have a tomorrow, I can rest assured that I did my best.
You sure have. You've left a gift to the world that's going to be here forever. It's something we are grateful for. You talk about being grateful. We are grateful to you for the gift you've given us. This Jingle Bell Rock the World thing with Wolf Entertainment and John Kleiman, Jingle Bell Rock Music, is coming down to about 1 month now that they're going to release this, August the 14th. Again, it'll be up to about 20 different versions. Yours is going to be one of the stellar ones that we'll be looking for. And they're really lucky to have you being involved in this, Skip. Thank you. Thank you for everything you've done, for the gift you've given the world. And you keep on giving. Don't worry, my friend. You've left us a great legacy. As you said, whatever happens, you've earned your keep here, my friend.
Thank you. I'm really thankful for that. I'm happy, and people need to be, whatever it is in your life, whatever it is that you've done, there's always going to be good and bad. There's always going to be ups and downs. There's always going to be victories and failures, but that's just the story of life. So just embrace that whole thing. For my listeners and friends out there, just embrace that whole thing and know that, hey, life is good. Life is delicious. Life tastes wonderful. And you don't know what wonderful is until you've tasted something that tastes like shit.
Well, that's such an important point to make. And you made that point. Life is fragile and it's beautiful, man. So you better enjoy it while you can, because it's a fragile thing. It's a gift and it's beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. Life is beautiful. Love is beautiful. So just enjoy it. And you're going to have some bad tasting things in your life, but still makes you appreciate it when it's great. So,
man,
That's how we know the difference.
I can't think of a better note to end this conversation on. Thank you, Skip. I'm honored to have met you. I'm honored to have spent this time with you. And thank you again for being part of this project and for all the other things you've done, all for the musical gifts you've given the world. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. And you guys stay out there. Remember my phrase, don't play no games. And look out for my new single, which launches on Tuesday, the 18th. I did another version of Get Down on It, but it's not Get Down on It. It's just called Get Down on It. And it's a new melody.
One of my favorite Kool and the Gang songs. That's a fantastic song.
It's a new track.
Yeah.
It's a new story. The melody is different. And but it's really, really happening. So that's
I'll say one other thing real quick here. Somebody told me you were working on an EDM version, electronic dance music version of this song, Jingle Bell Rock, too. That could be really swinging.
Yeah. Yes, I've got a young producer I've been working with. His name is Jackal. He was 17 when I started working with him. And he's now 25 or 26. Wow. And I've been watching him develop. He's a genius at EDM tracks. He's faithful to it, committed to it. And I just started collaborating with him and creating an impression like being a pit bull on EDM. I would sing stuff to the tracks and play my trumpet because those tracks, the trumpet and horn, really sings through those dance songs. Yeah. So different sections and all of that. And so I showed him this song. He said, man, I would love to give me the stems. I would love to do a EDM. And we just did an example and shared it with Helmet, and his head blew back. Because I told him, I told John, I said, man, I want to do this EDM version. And John said, you know what? Somebody asked me about doing an EDM version of one of these songs before. And I told him no, because I really didn't know about what EDM was. He says, now that I know what EDM is, I'm down for hearing it. So Jackal made up a little mock thing, and it was just killing it. It was just killing it. You know, so we're going to follow through and finish that up.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that. Well, the beat keeps going on, as they say. Thanks, Skip. Thanks for everything you've done. Thanks for this project. And thanks for talking to me today. I hope I get to meet you again in another time, and we'll do something.
Yes, that'll be great, Greg.
Face to face.
All right, don't play no games, man, and peace out, and thank you for this time.
Thank you, my friend. We'll talk again.
All right.
Ja, det är bjällerklang, det är bjällerklang.
That's the Jingle Bell